the CEO's ultimate responsibility is to build the brand and to make sure that he can strategically manage the marketplace so that when they're ready to buy, they buy from you. And then when the CEO moves, the next CEO has got a opportunity rather than a problem to fix.
Hello, I've got John Bedwany with me again, and I'm loving these discussions, John. I'm a CEO and I'm sitting listening to all this, and it sounds great. And you just covered one of my big concerns is, data accuracy and completeness. But how do I measure the effectiveness of these programs? How do I measure the growth of the brand and the level of trust I've got with my target audience, target customers, and so on? That whole issue is to me a quandary for a lot of CEOs.
Yeah, very good point. And I think the industry is struggling with this as a rule because they have not really been able to find a way to measure strategic market management at the contact level. Because at the end of the day, the CEO's ultimate responsibility is to build the brand and to make sure that he can strategically manage the marketplace so that when they're ready to buy, they buy from you. And then when the CEO moves, the next CEO has got a opportunity rather than a problem to fix. We've got to get over ourselves. Mm-hmm. So we call it the balanced scorecard, or the ARM balanced scorecard.
Today, the what?
The ARM, the authentic relationship management, which is the science of trust that we've developed.
Right.
But it's got to be a balanced scorecard. Today, how we measure is based on pipeline conversion, how long it takes to close, et cetera, et cetera. But how do you actually measure whether the organisation or the contact you're talking to is moving through the cycle of buying from you? So there's a couple of key things we've got to measure here. The first thing is, are they talking to us? Are they giving us information about their business? What information are they giving us? How do we use that information to help them? How do we use the information to help their market? How do we benchmark that so that as industry, we are industry thought leaders? So the profiling is a very important metric we must measure. The second is a concept which we call permission to educate. It's easy to stuff things down people's throats, but it's when they give you permission. We have to measure all the different types of collateral and content that they absorb and measure that so we know where they're going towards the journey towards trust. We need to know what they're interested in. So that next time we talk to them, we're talking to them based on what they're interested in.
And you can measure that?
We can measure all of this. We need to know whether they've opted in and what they've opted in for by areas of interest so that we're actually more relevant to them than not being relevant to them. We need to measure the contact and where they move from job to job.
So this is fascinating to me because you're saying that if you can measure all of that, you're actually measuring your engagement with your whole target
exactly
market,
right.
Which we could call brand, but now we're measuring the strength of that brand and how much it's growing and developing month by month.
To the power of one. I can measure it to the power of one, which means if I were to look up John, I can find out where he is in the journey towards trust with my brand, what information he has given us for me to help him, what we've educated him on, what he's interested in, and what's the next step to make John wanting to buy from us to help his business.
This is powerful stuff because those organisations that can get to this level really they can control the marketplace.
That's exactly right. This is the future of selling and the future of marketing, metric-based, objective, strategic market management.
I really love it. My mind is boggling at the moment with the whole concept and how we can drive value in the marketplace. But if we can measure all of that in the way you say it, I agree with you. We can actually measure. We talk in the past about marketing and the brand and measuring the brand and a few surveys and that sort of stuff. We're talking about real scientific approach to measuring our brand, the strength of our brand and how much it's shifted in the last month, quarter, year, and where it's going.
Can you imagine what they do to the shareholder value?
Oh.
If, as a board, you can say, we talked to 50,000 people and here's where they are at with us and here's what they're going to buy when. Can you imagine what that'll do?
And now you're talking about a brand that's an organisational brand.
Correct.
This issue that we all worry about is have all the individuals got their own personal brand? I think that's really important. But now you're talking about an individual can move off, a CEO can move off, a salesperson can move off into another organisation, and it's not going to impact your brand at all because your brand is the organisational brand, not the individuals.
We need to move to the point where relationship management or in relationships as an asset are owned by the company, not by the people within the company. Once that happens, the people come and go, but the relationships stay with the organisation, and we know again via the database exactly where they are, where they sit, and what do they want to buy next.
And you can probably measure if somebody does go, whether it's had any impact on the brand anyway.
Exactly right.
Love it, John. I think this is really powerful stuff, and hopefully that's a very strong message out there to all the CEOs and leaders. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Take care.